Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today, it is that time of year again. It is Z palette day. So as you guys know, if you have been longtime subscribers here on my channel, I've been doing this for about a year and a half now. So every change of the season, I do a Z palette where I pick out 25 eyeshadows from my, I think at this point it's 8 or 9 Z palettes of single eyeshadows that I've collected from different brands, and I cultivate them into a seasonal single shadow palette. I'm doing this for a couple of reasons. First and foremost, I'm getting a lot of use out of my single eyeshadows because sometimes I don't want to go through the hassle of trying to search through my single eyeshadows to find ones I'm looking for. I do have my go-to 9, but I want to be able to rotate some things in or out that are more seasonal, that are trending colors. So here we go, guys. So I wanted some jewel tones in here, and I think this, out of all the Z palettes I've done so far, this one has the most foiled eyeshadows in it. I write down all the shades here so I don't have to worry about pulling them out for you guys. So I think there's like 5 foiled eyeshadows in here, which is the most I have ever had in any palette, which is mind-blowing. So let's get into this. As I am talking about these different shadows, up here in this corner, you guys will be able to see swatches of each row. We're gonna go first row, second, third, onto the end, and the swatches will be corresponding up there as well. Just so you guys have a reference to what these shadow colors look like when swatched on my arm. But I just want you guys to keep in mind, as it is with any swatches in general, just because it doesn't swatch well on your arm does not mean it doesn't perform well on your eyes. You need to test things on your eyes as well as swatch them. I only partially judge the hand swatches. I go full in, see how they work on my eyes, and base off of that instead. So keep that in mind, because some of these do have more patchy swatches when you do them on your arm, but they do build up really nicely on your eyes. So let's jump in, shall we? So the first one we have here is Makeup Geek's Sorbet. So this is just a little bit more pinky tone than my natural skin, and it's just a hair bit darker. Not much. It's basically there to be a true transition shade. I haven't had a real good neutrally transition shade in my Z palette in a while now, so I figured it was time to finally include one. The next one in the row is Makeup Geek's Foiled Eyeshadow in Starry. This is a true, very pale skin tone champagne-y silver color, and I say skin tone for me. It is just such a nice, simple, easy to work with foil. Keep in mind, these foiled eyeshadows I'll be talking about, you can either put on using your fingers, you can use a glitter glue, you can use a brush, you can use them wet or dry. Just remember that. A lot of people forget that about the Makeup Geek foiled eyeshadows. The next one in here is Makeup Geek's Petal Pusher. This is a really good purpley gray color. I wanted something that was, again, going to be a little bit more neutral against some of the brighter colors down here, but still had a hint of a certain color in them. So that way you could tie all the color together without it looking too neutral on top and unblended, if you know what I mean. The next one in this row is one that I have actually been loving a lot lately, this kind of antique-y gold shade. I think I have one similar to this in my Fall Z palette. Check it up here if you guys didn't see it already. But this is ABH Tiger's Eye. It is a gorgeous, like I said, antique gold. It's a little bit of a hint of green in there, but it is mostly that gold shade, and that is absolutely what I love about this. The last one in the top row is also by Makeup Geek. There is a lot of Makeup Geek in the Z palette unintentionally. I didn't mean to do that on purpose. It's just how it happened. But that is Makeup Geek's Sure Thing. It's a really pale minty green. Again, very light-handed, easy, perfect for blending out a crease. It's not there to pack on the pigment and be intense. It's there to soften up a pigment afterwards, especially with some of these blues I have in here. And I know I'm planning on doing a blue tutorial in the near future. It'll probably be in January though. So moving on to the second row, we start off with Makeup Geek Friend Zone. This has been in a couple of Z palettes of mine now. It's just a nice cool tone brown. Works well with the cooler tones I have going on in this palette. Next to it, I have Makeup Geek Carnival. And I always want to say Carnival, and this is Carnival, like you go to a carnival. Not Carnival, we're gonna go party for Mardi Gras. And I just really like it. It's an easy to work with purple, and I think like blue, purple can be a little bit difficult to work with on your eyes occasionally. Sometimes they can come off really patchy, which this one does when you swatch it, but it ends up working really beautifully. The next one on the line is by NYX, and it is Covet. It's just a nice green, olive-ish toned. Love it. Easy, simple. Moving on. The next one next to it is ColourPop's Teen Captain. This is a little bit of a darker green with a hint of brown in there. It's kind of that army green almost, but I really love it because I wanted a matte darker green to blend, especially since these down here are a little bit more foiled or shimmery than this one is. The last one in that row is by ColourPop, and it is Muscle Beach. It's kind of a tealy blue color, so I could pair it with the blues, I could pair it with the greens. It can kind of go either way, and that's why I grabbed it. I wanted something that was matte, that I could blend and make a really beautiful crease color with. The third row, we start off with NYX Epic. This is just a straight up matte purple, nice, bright, vibrant, and it's also next to another NYX shade. This is Wild Orchid. It's just a really nice, again, it doesn't look impressive in the swatches up here, but it's a really nice pinky color and it builds up really nice here in your crease or on the lid as well. I tend to use this more as a crease shade in general for myself. So the next shade is ColourPop Get Out. This is kind of a reddishy brown. Again, one sign to be able to ground these bright colors to these foils down here without the foils looking too dark. Because that's always a hard time when you're picking a dark foiled eyeshadow. You don't want your whole eye to look one color with a really dark shimmery. It doesn't look nice in my opinion. I don't like how it looks. So that's how that's worked out. That's how that is. The next one is by NYX. It is the shade Zen. It's kind of a little bit lighter than the ColourPop one up here. However, this one down here does have a hint of shimmer to it. Just a tiny bit. It's a little more olivey, but I like it. The last one in this row is Makeup Geek's Foiled Eyeshadow in Pegasus. I love this. It's a beautiful, bright, icy blue. As you can see in the swatch, it's gorgeous. I love this shadow. I don't care that I have blue eyes. I still use blue eyeshadow. I think it's a very gorgeous... I love blue eyeshadow in general a lot. I don't know why. The first row, we're starting to get into a lot more of the foiled shadows now. The first one we have is is Makeup Geek Masquerade. This is a very mid-tone, true purple, royal purple, if you will. And I really love the way it looks paired with a maybe blending it with a yellow or a blue. So I kind of want to play around with that purple and not just have the purple be the center of attention. The one next to it is Makeup Geek Foil in Flamethrower, which is kind of more of a coppery color. I know this used to be a favorite of, was it Jaclyn Hill back in the day who used to rave about that one? I'm not 100% sure. But I was always in love with this guy right here, which is Makeup Geek Foil Eyeshadow in Curtain Call. It's a really beautiful cranberry, and cranberry's very in. I don't know why, but out of nowhere, everybody's doing a cranberry tutorial. I will not be. But if you guys do want to see one, I guess I could maybe throw one in. Tell me, and maybe I'll look into using that guy for you. The last one in the row, well, not the last one, the last foiled one in the row is Makeup Geek Epic. And yes, I know that's a little confusing. This is Epic, and this is Epic. This is a foiled Epic. This is a matte Epic. I'm not smart that way. I just want to say that it was a darker green, so if I wanted a really smoky emerald eye, which I'm thinking I might do later this month, that's why I wanted him. The last one in the row is NYX Turnt Up. It's just a very bright, medium toned blue that I could easily pair with a little bit of black to darken it up. So going into the last row, we start off with Makeup Geek Taboo. It's been in a couple of my palettes now. It's a nice darkened purple. Works well with black, works well with purple. Just wanted something dark in there. This is Makeup Geek Cabin Fever. It's a very nice, slightly warmer toned brown. I wanted something that would work well with both Flamethrower and Curtain Call. I didn't want something too dark. Guys, so then we move on from Makeup Geek Cabin Fever, that nice warm brown, over to Makeup Geek Bitten. And this was one of the original ones that everyone raved about from Makeup Geek, and I realized I hadn't used it in ages, so I wanted to pull it out, and it paired really nicely with some of the reds and purples I have in this palette. So I'm looking forward to getting to use a little bit more of Bitten all over again. The second to last is by ABH, and is the shade Ash Brown. Really nice, cool tone again, because a lot of the blues and greens, I wanted them to be able to tie together with something that maybe wasn't black. So using a very cool tone brown should work really well with them. Fingers crossed. And then we finish out the row with Makeup Geek Corrupt, a very true carbon black, great single eyeshadow. If you're looking for a really good affordable single black, check out this guy. It's amazing. So that is it, you guys. That is the entire Z palette. I know I kind of sped through this a little bit, but I feel like sometimes the Z palette videos get so rambly. So tell me down below if there's a specific color you guys are dying to see. But yeah, I'm excited to use this palette, guys. Okay, so I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have been enjoying my Z palette videos, please give it a thumbs up. I see a lot more people commenting on them and liking them now, so obviously people think it's a cool idea. It's different. It's not something that a lot of other people do here on YouTube, so I'm kind of happy that it's my own little thing that I have. So tell me down below if you guys have a color preference, and also if you have suggestions for single eyeshadows that you think I should use in general, please tell me down below. I'm always looking for new brands that do single eyeshadows that you can pop in a Z palette like these, because I think it's worth exploring some of them. I have, I think, about 6 or 7 brands that I kind of pull them from, so I'm always looking forward to new ones to try out in the future as well. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!